Welcome everyone to a brand new commentary. This is Zenor Titanic, and we definitely have like a very estranged series. It's not estranged, but just the things that happened in it are. And you gotta definitely say, well, what this really kick-started a career of someone, and I just thought, like it was packed to the gills with fun moments. And really, Jason Statham kind of built his career from here. But this movie is 12 years old, I think. I think this movie came out in 2002. No, apparently it came out in 2005. I take that back. I thought it was 2002. I'm thinking Van Wilder. But this movie is still relatively old. And you definitely got to say, well, what's left in it? You're gonna find some good moments. It's action through and through, but they do kind of try to tie the story together, and I mean it works. You're gonna find that if you like action, this is not only a good placeholder, but also a good introductory to action. So it's just like, what could I expect from this film? So that's what goes on, and what's going to happen is I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, and there will be an invisible 0. And in the blank where I would say 0 after I say 1, you press play to follow along with my commentary to the transporter, the original. And I have the special delivery edition, but I really don't think it's going to make terribly much of a difference. So let's get started. 3, 2, 1. Now, if things go well with this, I will eventually do more Jason Statham movies. I think that's I don't think it's Statham. I think it's Statham. I'm not quite sure. It's kind of like Channing Tatum. You just gotta guess with it. But I mean, the way that he does things is just you really gotta say, well, how much are you going to enjoy this? And I had fun with this movie. I watched like 3 movies last night just because I am taking like a new policy. And really, I'll explain some of that because what happened was I got on the internet today and I went to Hip Hop Deluxe, and they said Tupac only recorded 1 song while in jail. And I read that interview, and he said he recorded 13 songs in 4 days. And I was like, really now? What could I do if I were just to cut loose with movies back and forth and back and forth? I'm sure that I could definitely make the jump, so I'm going to do that. And now, if you're thinking, well, what's this movie about? It's really simple. You know those cats that perform tasks for you, but they try to remain anonymous and they don't want to get involved. They're just the person that gets you from point A to point B, and you pay them as you go. That's what Jason Statham is. You could say, well, a lot of illicit people use people like him, and it's the truth. I mean, he doesn't care. He has 3 rules. At least 3 rules are stated in the movie, and it's just like, okay, I'm just here. I don't care if it's a dead cow or a kidnapped 6-year-old. I'm gonna transport it for you. And the thing is it's like, well, you just gotta say what necessarily is going to happen. I really don't care. Now, the way he does things is just he's got like his business being ran, and I mean it's funny just because like he has it and everything is. I mean, Jason Statham actually has like his life ran, and it's not in between. So you just got to say, well, what can we expect here? Well, the movie makes him a good guy. He gets a girlfriend out of it, and he gets a new life because he decides to save someone. And if you're saying, well, is that good? Well, this movie is PG-13, but the ride along the way, I mean, I like Jason Statham's character just because the way that he operates, it proves to be efficient. It's like a sniper, and if you've ever seen like The Jackal with Bruce Willis, that movie is very similar to this. Just with just the transporter is like the good guy. And so what are you gonna find this time? Well, it's just yeah. Um, as the movie progresses, you're going to start seeing what what's really good, and it only like sometimes the movie will kind of cut in, and they'll have them where so immediately. Huh. It's just like, all right, you know. Now, basically, what you got to say is, I don't know what's going on, but no, I know what's going on. It's just like, okay, what are we gonna do with this? Can Jason Statham outdo the cops? And it proves to be a success. And you know, really, like when you say, well, what sort of shit can this is just part of the package deal. I mean, when I signed up to do this, I trained in everything. Like, they don't teach classes for this sort of thing. I mean, I've ran from cops, I've driven away from cops, I've, you know, just, I mean, do you know how many whips on my back I had to take and how much cash I had to steal and how many cars I had to steal just to be able to do shit like this? As like the whole thing. They don't mention that. I mean, because this is successful. I mean, that's the whole thing. It just most of the time, most people that run from cops usually they do okay until they lay out the spike strips and then it's over. So I'm thinking like 7 or 8 times out of 10 the cops catch the the getaway car. And but you just get the main idea, and it's funny because like you're probably saying, well, what's gonna happen? And yeah, I mean, he just does things, he gets it taken care of, and but I mean, do I care? No. I mean, if I were to meet one of these cats, what would I say? Would it be like, I need I need you to I mean, just the you got to understand like the main people that are going to acquire this, they're going to acquire this guy would be people in the illegal services, because that's like the only true thing to say. But look at these robbers screaming. What the hell is that? Like, wow, I've never been in a car going this fast before. I just totally robbed a fucking bank and I can't jump over an edge. Can't jump over a cliff. But I'm sure that this movie has like a lot of flair. I mean, Jason Statham has done rated R movies, and there's just been several more of them. He's got. I don't remember all of them. I think I get him. I don't remember. He was with some woman, and I don't remember exactly what it was about. But he did like a movie, and I just remember seeing it on a commercial, and it wasn't the transporter though. It was something different. I think it came out like in 2008. But so yeah, I mean, this is what happens. They try to get him to drive him further, but he says like the deal's the deal. It's the sort of thing that you get is just. I bet Jason Statham feels pretty good about himself knowing that he can help boost crime. Like it's his decision. Like if I decide I'm mad at the cops one day, crime goes up. If I decide I'm tired of helping thieves, crime goes down. You know what I mean? That's a powerful thing. I mean, just whichever one you choose to fuck with is the one that's going to have like more monetary gain. That's one of those things that you got to understand is, well, how many people are can do that? And let's see, somebody that could do it, probably Wolverine from X-Men could probably do that. Um, there's just tons of people. I can't think of good. I mean, that's when I pick superheroes. It's just because there's not a lot of good versus evil people. That I mean, there is, but it's new. It's just like a bank robbery or something. I don't know. Um, but now, what's going on is I think they don't really state who this man is, but I think he is a. They say pretty much he's a cop. I don't know why a cop pays a visit to his house like that. It's just strange. Like, what would you do if a cop just showed up at your house? Hey, how are things going? This kind of. Well, you should know that your driveway has more cracks in it than it should. So if someone could get a flat backing out of your driveway, so you should probably get your driveway fixed. And, like water your plants in your front yard too. Just like okay. But I mean, I think this takes place. Yeah, it does. It's in Britain, but you just got to say, well, what is like the overall story of this, and that's what it is. I mean, there's a Asian woman who shows up, and I know her from one other movie. Never saw her in anything else again. And like really, that's because I mean, there's another cat, and I can't remember what his name was, but he was in the Green Hornet, and he was in the Green Hornet with Seth Rogen and Cameron Diaz, and that was pretty much the movie that got me back into movies. But yeah, I mean, I'd never like. I remember people saying like this is like the someone to look out for, but I never saw him in another movie again. He's just mainly in Asian movies, and it's really kind of frustrating when you get cats like that because you don't know what to expect from them. Like you could really see some good things, but they're just no. I just want to be local. I like my I like eating on the floor of my house and drinking six different flavors of tea. Just I'm not making fun of Asian culture. I'm just saying that like, come on. There aren't I mean, but I guess to be fair, like have I ever seen any American actors in Asian movies? Well, the thing is they cannot speak those languages. It's harder. Like they don't understand that like I think they do understand that that's the hardest language to learn. I mean, there's like 300 different letters or something. I don't know if there's that many, but there's over probably 50 letters in the Japanese alphabet. And I mean, just if we had like some Asian cat that could confirm that, that'd be fine. But her name, I don't remember her name. It's like Shu Ki or something like that. Starts with a Q, no U after it. And she's from Jackie Chan's Gorgeous. And when I eventually start getting into Jackie Chan films, I will do that movie. I have several Jackie Chan films, probably over 10 Jackie Chan films. But as this movie progresses, you're going to see, well, yeah, it's just he gets another deal and he says it's just they're just laying out the schematics for it. That's why I didn't really go into it. They're just saying, well, okay, you're just gonna have to do this, and they question him like it's serious because he has three rules, and if he breaks those rules, you got to look out. So yeah, it's a kidnapped woman, and now Yeah. Really, I mean, it's just interesting. You think of like, really, this is the kind of life that you gotta say. It's pretty simple just to do like transportation. Just having a love for cars that much that you gotta say, well, yeah, I'll just take up habits like this. I mean, that just the simplicity of a taxi cab driver, but just a little bit more custom, and you got what you need. I mean, I don't have a car, but like if I were, I would probably drive. I think I would probably drive like states away from where I lived if I had a car, just because I would like driving that much. And it's interesting just the way you can do that. But I mean, that's the whole basis of this movie in the first 30 minutes, and what 35 40 minutes. Now you start to get the idea of like what's gonna happen, and he screwed it up. Really, what would you do in this situation? Would you just a lot of people say, well, shit, I don't know. I don't want to get into all that, but it's just like, yeah. Um, I would have probably just let her pee right there, but I mean, he actually handles it pretty well. I mean, considering the way it goes, you just gotta say, well, the fun part is just seeing what's gonna happen to the rest of the movie. Like, I mean, Jason, you just fell for the oldest trick in the book. I have to go pee. Like, do you want? Should I just throw a rock at the tree that I want you to pee by, or do you know this area? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I like to go. Like, I could just see like the convincing here. I like to go pee by red bushes, so I'm just gonna keep walking until I find one of those. But he gets her. I mean, it's she's like, no. She actually tried to say something. But now you understand why everything's alright. Um, that's it. I mean, it's kind of fun because you get to see like the whole idea of what's gonna go on, and basically they find out that he helped her. Like he helped her, and they try to kill him. They're just like, fuck it, that's it. But now, they just do it. I mean, it's just like, okay, you get the idea. But this film does not progress much further than this. The point of this movie is that girl, and he is kind of, I mean, the way he wants to do it, and I kind of like this, is just he just wants to go about like his business being the transporter instead of being like, he doesn't want to be like Daredevil or save the world, the whole thing like that. It's basically like, yeah, I'm trying to, I really just like where I am, and It's funny when people don't expect explosions just because of the way. He didn't like that too much. He's like, alright, you just hit the beehive with the bat, buddy. Usually when people want to tell me thanks, they send flowers or write a card. But it's pretty, like the action scenes, they really work. You gotta say, like the choreography here, you gotta say, well, were you expecting it? I mean, this is kind of what made Jason a star, is just being able to actually do roles like this. I mean, some cats can. I mean, there's Jean-Claude Van Damme, of course, and The Rock, and maybe like a couple of other people, but for the most part, you just don't see a ton of fighters like this. And yeah, I mean, it just reminds you of why action movies are fun at times. There can be more than one Jackie Chan, you know what I mean? And I knew that. I knew that weapon. I knew that weapons class would come in handy. They said, Jason, you don't have to take it. I think his name is Frank, actually. Frank Martin. And I read the box, and you can learn how to load a gun, or you can learn how to use a weapon, and we'll teach you how to dodge it too. And he said, well, I'll just sign up for both. What do you think she's saying? Like, hey, you forgot to get your taillights fixed. Like, it was just like a universal language there. You gotta say, like, what did I forget? I think I'll just. I could use a chair like that in my house. But he takes her, and it's fun. It's just like, okay, so probably wondering how the film's gonna go and progress, and we've just got really tons of bits for you. But that's it. Like, really, you just gotta say, well, you'd really think that, okay, so what necessarily is gonna happen? This isn't as large scale as like you may have thought. It's her dad that is Shuki is her name. It's Shuki's dad that might be Chi, Su Chi. It's her father that's the person, and that what it is slave trade. And they were going to kidnap her, and they were going to sell her to someone to do their dirty work. And there were like 400 Asians that they were deporting, and that's what you have. And like, okay, so basically, what does this make of the movie? And I mean, really, it's compact. It is. It's like, hey, this is just like an appetizing meal, if that makes sense, and that's what we're gonna get. So I enjoyed it. But the way it works is they think that the transporter is dead, and he's not. And so he kills one of his henchmen because of it. One of the people that works, one of his hired hitmen. He'd say, "So what? How did you get in this hospital?" Oh, I was just how do you? I just took. I ran a bike. It was a stunt, you know. Like I was supposed to ride down a hill blindfolded, and I didn't know it was. I didn't know they had a. It was off a ledge, so I really fell. Then my friend here tried to save me, and that didn't work either. It's the way that it goes. I really don't know what happens to that guy. I forgot, but there are some more good fight scenes. I think that one that they were just in was probably one of my favorites. There's one where he's all in oil and everything, and that one's a lot. That one was different. I'll say that, but it was creative. But it's a tactician type thing because they can't grab you while you're like that. So you just gotta. I don't. So he is a cop. What business he has with him, you'll never know. I think he's just kind of. But uh, I bet most Asian women hate their name being mispronounced. Like it's so simple. It's Z high. Like it's not that hard. Like I mean, that's like getting mad at someone that doesn't know how to whistle or something. Like all you do is push wind through your mouth. Once you know how to do it, it's simple. If you don't know how to sew a pillow, we can't. I can't be around you if you don't know how to sew a pillow. But they're basically talking about they found his car and they have to act surprised about it because he can't know about what's happening just yet. But as soon as he leaves, they attack his house and destroy it. But Now, is you just got to say, well, what's gonna happen here? And it's true. I mean, whole house goes to pieces. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to live in a house like that for the most part. I mean, this looks like some New Zealand ass house or something. Got like just moss growing on. The house is made out of concrete type shit. Just like probably doesn't have outlets in it. I mean, it does, but I mean, it's just a different style of what you gotta say. I mean, I could just imagine going grocery shopping. Oh, I gotta travel 30, 40 minutes out of my way just to eat food every month and to get gas. It's just but I mean, Jason know he kind of pays attention about how to make this happen. So it's just you just gotta be prepared for anything. I suppose that's kind of like the life lesson here is that one day you may just have someone who doesn't like your business and tries to assassinate you, and you've got to be ready to move at any given time. But I mean, that goes with the if it's the job description, does it? Like, just ask them. Well, apart from moving every 16 months, I don't really have a problem with it. I mean, it gives me enough to have a car and to buy my new CDs, but other than that, it's just no. One of the seemingly, I mean, I don't know, like really a benefit to living on like the east is that you don't have to pay taxes, but there are differential rules, most assuredly. So know that. You just gotta say, well, yeah, we are officially an action couple. We we even smoke cigarettes with blow torches type thing. I mean, I've done like the whole thing, you know. So like the thing is, well, I want to say like he's the commissioner, maybe something like that, but yeah, I mean, this is kind of like, well, what's going to happen throughout this film, and you've got what you need. You just got to say, well, can I figure it out? This part gets interesting because Jason just wants to leave and she wants to solve the crime. So, like, isn't that funny? Some real super troopers. Like, it's just the way he was like, he knows when to get out. Like, just the way he told her, like, start over. You know, like just the way she hopped in that car. She was like, "Hey, we're like crime solvers now." You know what I mean? Like I got my fingerprint. I got my gloves, so I can got my detective toolkit. We can just get started. But she convinces him. She says, "Well, us having sex was not a lie." She, So he goes further and like really the way that guy looks, he looks like he's ready to tackle something. Has this look on his face like, yeah, I'm involved in illegal activities. What are you gonna do about it? Yeah. The only thing left is saying, well, it's an interesting situation. Jason's just kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing here. This really feels different for me to be involved in this. I don't know what's going on. I'm talking from Jason's point of view, but now things kind of get a little bit different. I really kind of forgot about this part somewhat, but I really didn't understand how they got him out of jail. Jason's like, yeah, I feel like I'm donning my bulletproof vest and joining SWAT with all the shit that I'm doing now. I mean, I 30 minutes ago I could have been on my way back to building my new life. Now I'm stuck in a jail cell. Yeah. He actually proves to be like a good person. And originally you thought, well, he's just a cop, snooping around in business that he shouldn't, but he does help him. they're just they're just like, so who's better? Who's the better hero? And I mean, I don't know, Jason. Blowing up two cops doesn't necessarily. But I mean, it's just interesting though, because when you say, well, hey, how good was this going? That's kind of what you got to deal with. Is just, I mean, if it would have been like 3 months before this movie started, I'm pretty sure he would have been making like $100,000 a month or something, maybe more. I mean, he probably could have been making like $800,000 a month, and it's just kind of like, well, what necessarily would you think about that? I mean, that's the whole thing. A lot of times movies will do this, like they'll have characters like the Punisher who have killed before, but it's excused because they do something worth that. I mean, that's not true. I mean, that's just the thing. It isn't. You will don't try to be like this character. This is a movie fantasy and it should be known. I'm not recommending you do these things, but I am saying that there's you can kind of tell the difference. So it's fun though. You know what I mean? That's the thing about it. It's fun because you think. I mean, he's usually cool, calm, and collected, so that's kind of what you get. And just not a lot of things that are gonna go wrong. But yeah, I mean, the story of this film was really good as well. I mean, this kind of thinking, well, we need like some regulation illegal event, and we're gonna make like a story around it, and it worked. It's just pretty much just an excuse to show some action scenes. That was like the main thing. Just like, hey, you I draw. You dropped my change, handing it back to me. We're gonna fight. Like, here's a quarter. Oops, I dropped it. Oh, well, we're gonna fight now. That's the kind of thing that happens in most action movies. But to be fair, they are good, and it's just it makes you say, well, fuck, Jason, get in fights more often. But he does in later movies. I mean, he's kind of like Bruce Willis and some more of them cats. He says, well, we're just gonna do our thing. Now, the only true thing left is just the rescue. And Shuki, what do you spend your money on? Do you like J-pop? Do you do you like Asian music? Probably. I mean, do you sing when you're in the shower? I like really. That's just some of them cats sound like they're zombies or something. You know what I mean? That's what they say. Need Kate Upton pussy. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. That was more kicks than I probably needed to see. This now, I wonder like what's the oldest age actors can actually do some of these stunts because I don't think Samuel L. Jackson could do this, and I don't think John Travolta could do this either. And it's like really those are just a few of the cats that you got to say, well, can they or can't they? Jason Statham, I think, was born in 1973. Usually, I know when actors and actresses were born. I think probably August 1973, so he was probably like 30. If this movie came out in 2005, he was like 31 when he made this film. So yeah, he's able to do like this sort of shit. But Yeah. He did it. I mean, it's hard for me to figure out what to say about the fact that he did that, but I mean, that's not only does that take a lot of work, but you got to say, like, especially being able to do something like that. I mean, yeah, this. What would you expect though? Like, well, the bus scene was the co-director's idea, so we're gonna have you fight a bunch of guys in a bus, and you're gonna just go crazy in that, just in case, just for like them cats out there that think that everyone on the bus hates them. That's what we're doing it for, Jason. He's like, oh, absolutely. I can fight anywhere. Now here comes the oil scene. Completely worked. Hey, we are we are the manliest bunch of men that you've ever seen. We don't know how to handle things that are slippery, but yeah, so that's it. Oh, we've got an idea. Now, now he gets kidnapped, and then that's it. The movie ends. I don't remember if there's like a car chase or whatever. I actually don't think there is. But yeah, I mean, this is ballistic, isn't it? I'm doing 2 movies a day. I mean, the next movie is going to be South Park, followed by Austin Powers and Goldmember, and then Jay and Silent Bob, and then we'll figure out something else from there. But there's tons of them. And if you're saying, well, when are you going to do another Jason Statham movie? As soon as I get all the movies that I have planned out of the way, then I'll start going off and thinking about getting some more. But until that point, like it's just, I mean, I've got too many. And Jason gets a plane and he catches up because the car screws up, and now he's basically saying, well, you're going to take me somewhere. If you pay attention, Jason has actually done a ton of work for this film. So if you're saying, like, I just don't think he's an efficient actor, I think there's degrees of actors, and like, if it's one thing to be able to memorize the script, it's another thing to be able to memorize the the gestures while doing the script, and then it's another thing to memorize stunts, and then it's another thing to memorize patterns, like driving. Just saying, well, like that shit that he did at the beginning of the movie took some time, I bet. And that's just like the main thing. I mean, he did the same thing in The Italian Job. And Fast and the Furious does this all the time as well. So it's just, yeah. Fast 7 is going to come out next year. Probably, like, I don't know what's going to happen. I think they're probably going to make Paul Walker's character die, but there's just a ton of it. So, but he's doing it. That's it. Just, oh yeah, there's a little bit more shit going on. Like, he gets into a fight in the car. I completely forgot about this part. Music, like, lightens up, tenses up. Like, hey, you're probably gonna fall out of a car, but other than that, like, there's no indications that something bad's gonna happen. My ear itches from this headset. There's pretty much knew they weren't gonna get pulled over by the cops. But he boots him out of the car. I don't know how he survived that one. Like, really, that was just. He's underneath the car, though. I mean, really, forget about it. That would have been it. But the movie kind of gave him like a special you get out of jail free card because of all the work he did. So yeah, I mean, like, hey, that's what happens to this guy. Like, he gets knocked out of the car or whatever. That's it for him. Just kind of, well, music gets all peaceful. Like, yeah, you won, guy. Like, go have go have a picnic and a ham sandwich. You know, like, really. Can't think of like the food in particular. Like, I forget. Like, go have yourself a crumpet. Yeah. I actually think he heard the gunshot. And we don't know how she got out of that, but she did. Learned a little trick. Yeah. Now, there is a transporter too, and I don't know like the idea of what happens in it, but you know, you never know if he goes back to like his business or if he's just, you know, like there's been movies like that where like the hero used to be like a thug street guy, and then by the second one he's totally charitable services type guy. And I mean, I just hope that they didn't do that to Jason. But if they did, I mean, it just really depends. But I mean, he has like this was just like the liftoff courtesy. I mean, that's the main thing is lots of actors and actresses have had movies that just have propelled them to stardom, and I try to do those movies quite a bit. Like I might do Friday with Chris Tucker somewhere down the road, but I'm probably going to do Friday After Next before that. But alright. Now, that's it. This one will probably be up this evening. Just stay prepared for that. We're going to have some fun. Subscribe for more fun, everyone. This has been Zenor Titanic.